or some wigs. Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry about the mess there, but we're going to be taking a look at the Studio Series 86 Autobot Jazz. And let me tell you, I have been excited for this guy for a while. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to do, well, not a full unboxing, but a review from within the box. So first, let's just take a look at some of the packaging. We've got some character art here. We have the 86 logo there. You got some pictures of Jazz on the back. Convert him in 20 steps. Got a picture of the backdrop included. It looks like it's from Moonbase 1, I think. Guess we'll find out. You got some more art of the character. You got Studio Series 8601 there. You got the Transformers, the movie logo at the top, and just some writing on the bottom. So, with that out of the way, let's get him out of the box. Alright, here is Jazz out of the box. And this is kind of one of those ones that it's like, you know, what you see is what you get with it. I mean, it's basically just this, the gun, and, move him out of the way for a second, the backdrop here, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Moonbase 1 from the start of the movie, when the Autobots are planning their attack on the Decepticons. Hang on a second. So, you know, it's pretty cool. I like it. A lot of people are gonna hate me because I don't know if I'm gonna keep all these. I don't really have the room for them. I guess I could put them in storage, but for now, we'll move that out of there. So with that out of the way, you know, let's take a look at the figure. Posability. It's pretty standard, all things considered, you know. Plus, it just looks really good. As was the case with Hot Rod, it looks like they just plucked Jazz right out of the movie screen and plopped him down here. I don't have a ton of complaints in regards to the figure, though I think the complaints I do have are sort of warranted. That's one of them. You can see I hardly touched that, and this arm just comes undone so easily. It's not broken, mind you. You can see it's a little mushroom joint there with a little hole there on the side and here. So you can just sort of bloop it right back in there. No problem. It's the fact that it happens. The other complaint I have is the way these knees are held on here. This knee is great. You see, there's like sort of a little. You can't really see it. Let's see if I can. No, I can't really move it in a way so you can see it that well. But there's sort of like a rectangular section on the end of the knee. The intent is that there's a slot here, and they just sort of peg into place. They don't snap, but it's like a soft connection. The problem is on this leg, it comes out really easily. And I'm not sure about how smart it was to engineer it this way. Not that I'm a toy engineer or anything and can tell them how to do it correctly. But my issue is that if this already comes out that easily, how much worse is it going to be down the line when it's worn down? you know. Luckily, I don't play with my guys. I transform them every now and again. That's it. For the most part, they just sit there. And you know, my Batman stuff, which some reviews are probably be coming down the pipeline after some other things, but that's neither here nor there, right? Down the line, I could see there being some issues, but for now, there's not much. But anyway, moving along. Otherwise, I don't really have a ton of problems with the figures. The accuracy to Jazz's design is perfect, in my opinion. There's obviously some things here and there. I know a lot of fans are annoyed about the numbering here. And also the fact that you don't have a lot of the decals from the classic Jazz design, but a lot of that was, from what I hear, copyright issues. You also have a couple ways that you can display his backpack here. You can either do like the door wings, or I think the more animation accurate one is to have them folded in like that. I could be wrong. Like I said, I was never much of a G1 guy. So, yeah. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at the posability. So it's pretty standard for a deluxe scale. Yeah, I think this is a deluxe scale. It's pretty standard for a deluxe scale figure. You have a ball joint here at the head, which allows for some nice movement. You can look up about that far and down about that far. And, you know, you can look right and left, too. He's also got a joint at the shoulder here, which allows him to move his arm out that far, as well as 360 degrees of movement. He also has an elbow bend and a joint, as you could see from the mushroom joint there, before that allows his bicep to move around like that, but no wrist swivel. The arm does move out, well, in, like this, but that's more for the transformation, which we'll get to later. He also has a swivel here at the waist, so he can do a full 360. He has at the thigh here, he can, well, a joint, he can kick out that far and kick back about that far. He also has a joint here at the thigh that allows for some movement. Allows for some movement. Sorry, my brain stopped working there for a second. He also can bend his knee like that. I guess technically, if you want to unpeg this, you could also get a little bit more movement. But again, more for the transformation. So, if you want to look at it on the positive side, it's just extra knee movement. It's just extra knee movement. He can also do a little movement here, but, you know, more for the transformation. And, lastly, but not leastly, I think I actually have these wrong. There we go. We're going to fix them. Maybe not. I don't know. I think that's correct, technically. There we go. That's better. Additionally, he has a little toe bend here, but not to sound like a broken record, more for the transformation. And that nice little calf bend. Calf bend? Heel bend? Whatever. You know what I meant. So, posability on this figure is fantastic. I love it. He looks great on my shelf. Plus the nice vibrant red of the symbol and the little bit of other primary colors on this figure just looks fantastic. I love the way this stripe runs down the top of it, to the top of the hood. So, let's get into some comparisons. Optimus Prime. So you can see, hang on a second, how much of a difference there is on the height between the two of them. Let's also get Hot Rod, fellow Studio Series 86 figure. And yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really have any other G1, well, not G1, Studio Series or any other figures that might really fit in. I mean, I guess I could show you Bumblebee, so you can kind of get an idea for the height of this figure and how it looks in relation. I mean, if you want to mix and match some of the Cyberverse figures like I do, I think they look pretty good with a lot of the G1-esque figures. The head sculpt, maybe not quite close enough, but hey, you know, that's a thing you can do. And like I said, I think Jazz looks pretty good with that version of B. Alright, let's get into the transformation. First off, we're going to take the arms, well, the hands, fold them in, just like that. Okay? Next, you want to take these sections here with the wheels, flip them around like that. They don't really tab in, you just kind of need to get them somewhere around there, right? Take his toes, fold them in. See these little tabs there, right in the middle? Meet them up, just like so. You can do that now if you want, or you can do it later. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I guess we'll find out in a moment, right? Next, take his backpack, fold it out like so. Untab this piece. You're going to see that, just as a note for when you're transforming it back. See these little tabs right there, right on the chest? You can see them right above my fingertip. This piece has to tab into them. So when you close it back up, you just sort of tab it together like that, okay? Moving along, untab it completely like that, so you're going to kind of be looking at something like this. You want to take the belly section here, okay? And without turning the whole thing around, you just turn that so it looks like this. This is important for later. Now, take this section, fold it in completely. You're going to have some clearance issues here. I'm worried about the paint scratching. There's not really much you can do about it. And you want to kind of just, while simultaneously pushing on this panel, you need to also push down lightly on the head and fold it down like this, so that this section will now be here. And then after that, you take this portion, fold it in like that, okay? Now then, you're going to want to untab these horrible sections and just sort of fold them up like so. And if you haven't already done it, click that into place. Now, unfold his backpack like so, and untab this portion of the back windshield, so you're going to be kind of left with something like this. This next part is kind of one of the trickier parts, because these tabs on the arms have to go in these portions on the doors. So you need to fold in the wheels like so. Then, when you fold the arms down, and it's a pain, it is a big old pain, you kind of need to get it lined up just right on each side. And then there's also, simultaneously on the back windshield, 2 ports there that need to port in here. So it's honestly probably easier to get the back windshield all squared away and pegged into place and then worry about the arms. But turn them around like that, like you saw me do before. Just sort of start to bend them down like so. And now you tab in the the doors. And you tab in the doors there. And, well, there you have Jazz in his robot mode. There you have Jazz in his vehicle mode. So, all things considered, I like this thing. It rolls pretty well. For the most part, as long as you transformed everything correctly, you won't really have any issues with clearance down there. And I mean, everything folds up nicely. I mean, it's the car mode, in my opinion, looks great. Obviously, you can see some panel lining. You can tell that it transforms if you know what you're looking for. Just don't flip it upside down, because, you know, you'll be able to tell very, very easily that this is a transforming robot. Other than that, not really a lot of ports that you can put the gun. Obviously, you have a spot here, so you can put it kind of like that. So, you know, hey, it's storage. It's better than what we get with the Studio Series Hot Rod, in my opinion. So, that's that. Alright, folks, moving right along, let's do some quick comparisons. So, first of all, let's bring in Optimus again. I think the scale between these two is pretty good. I mean, the scale of truck to sports car. Oh, I forgot the tanks there. The scale of the, you know, truck to car is pretty good. So, you know, you got that. We've also got our Studio Series 86 Hot Rod again. I think the scale is pretty nice, all things considered. Oops, I messed up my light. I still think it's really cool how nicely this one folds up to form a compact vehicle. This one also folds up very nicely, but, you know, it's very cool. I know, I like them. They look good together. And lastly, but not leastly, we got the Cyberverse Bumblebee alt mode, which I don't think I've showed in a video yet. I might review this guy at some point. I love this, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. This is a Jazz review. This is all about our boy Jazz and how much we like him. Not about B. Not right now. So overall, this figure's okay. It's definitely not my favorite from the Studio Series so far. That title is probably a tie between 86 Hot Rod and Bumblebee movie Starscream. Two very, very beautiful molds, and I'll probably be taking a look at Screamer at some point in the not so distant future. But again, not a Starscream review. This is a Jazz review. If I had to rate this figure on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably give it a 3. Again, it's not a bad figure by any means. I think it's an ungraceful figure. Because if you look at the engineering on other figures that fold up their legs to form the back of the vehicle, there's so many of them that find a way to do it without sacrificing this. This should not have been a sacrifice, in my opinion. It really should not have. I mistransformed him. And now it's going to bother me. This really should not have been the sacrifice they made. This assembly is just... I hate it. I hate it. And I know by the way I'm talking about it, it sounds like I might be giving it a lower score, or I should be giving it a lower score than I am. But I think the 3 is fair, because I really enjoy the character of Jazz. I think this is a very good adaptation of the character. And I really think that if they had just figured out something different for these sections, it would have been great. It still wouldn't have fixed my issue with this arm always becoming unpegged. On my first take, when I was transforming him from robot to car mode, this came unpegged. It came unpegged. I mean, I messed up the transformation altogether anyway, because it's been a hot minute since I had a chance to do it, but that's neither here nor there. This shouldn't be coming unpegged when I'm trying to maneuver it into the transformed state. It shouldn't. That's just, you know. But either way, I would still recommend this figure if you need a good Jazz figure to go with your War for Cybertron stuff. But truth be told, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I think there's probably better offerings for the character of Jazz. If you want them in that nice War for Cybertron scale, I'm 100% certain that there's better offerings for the figure. I'm remiss to think of a few lines right now that you could probably find the character in at this scale that would work with some of these figures, but whatever. It ain't perfect. And despite the 3 out of 5, I'm still happy I picked it up. I'm still happy I picked it up, and I didn't spend all that much on it, so I really can't be too salty about it. So, yeah, I think the 3 out of 5 is fair, given some of the glaring issues with the engineering. But hey, what did you think? Do you have opinions on this? Do you disagree with me? Do you have this figure and you just really love it and you don't think my issues are warranted? And mind you, my issues aren't because of a lack of accessories, anything like that. It's a deluxe scale figure. I'm not surprised it doesn't have a ton of accessories. But hey, what are you going to do? And hey, let me know what you thought of this. I got something fun coming down the pipeline. I don't know why I said woodwork. Yeah, I got some fun stuff coming down the pipeline. I have a fun little upgrade video I'm going to be doing for Optimus. Something different. Something I think some people might enjoy. I think that one I'm going to try to put out next because I've been working on it for a little while. And I wanted to get through my Studio Series 86 figures before I did that. So, hey, like I said, comment down below what you thought, and we'll see you next time. As always, Internet, you stay classy. Peace out.